out. My name is Frank Dixon, F-R-A-N-K-D-I-X-O-N. I'm an Assistant Chief of Police for the South Patrol Bureau and the Special Operations Division. So we know that there might be some questions that you guys want to ask and follow up to the events that happened here in March. So I'll open up for any questions.
Well, could you talk about, I guess, just some of the complexities? I know they found explosives near your school. Using your experience from back in March, I mean, what can you say about an investigation like that? How complex it is? How much time needs to be taken for something like that?
So anytime you're dealing with a case that involves explosives, it's extremely complex, very dangerous, very rapid, and it can evolve, rather quickly. It can go bad, okay? So in processing scenes like that, you want to be very methodical in how you go about doing it. You want to take your time, not rush through it, because you don't know how those devices were manufactured, what safety devices they may have, or what trip mechanisms they may have in them as well. So it's a very arduous process, but that is a point of safety.
I guess, how important is it to be able to, clear the area? Because as you mentioned, you don't know what will trigger these, explosives. How important is it going to be to be sure the area is completely clear, everyone's back a certain distance, all that?
So it's extremely important. And one of the points of safety when you're dealing with any scene that's having a potential device that can go off is not just getting people out, but getting them out safely. So you're going to essentially have to clear an area where you're going to stage these people at prior to putting them there, because like I said before, you don't know how these devices were delivered, and you definitely don't want to deliver victims into an area where a device may be.
Have you been in contact with agencies down there, guys on standby to maybe go down and help? What's that process like right now?
So similar to the events that happened here in March, we have not been formally contacted for any response down to Santa Fe, but I can tell you that we always have bomb techs that are on call 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. We always have special operations personnel that are on call. So if we get a request for assistance, like we expect to return the favor that we got in March.
Whenever you were trying, whenever this was happening in neighborhoods, because down south they have found some that were off school campus and in the community, as it's been said. What's it like whenever you're trying to clear the area from houses, knocking on people's doors, just going about the business? What is that like, and what is the reactions that you've seen?
So the complexities of dealing with in neighborhoods is, of course, they're going to be fluid, right? You're going to have, especially in neighborhoods of great diversity, you're going to have people that may speak different languages, may have different customs, people that may or may not be at home, whether they're working or not. So being able to go door to door, make contact with people, safely get them out, but account for everyone. And then again, putting safeguards in place to make sure that you don't have children coming home unattended or unescorted. You don't have people wanting to come into the neighborhood while you're in the midst of doing this. So doing everything very methodically and making sure that we account for people as we're moving through neighborhoods, because it's a very dynamic situation.
What are lessons you guys may have learned from March, from your experiences?
Well, that investigation is still ongoing, so we haven't even gotten to our critical in-depth debriefing. So we're going to definitely do that at the conclusion of the investigation. But at the, just looking at it from a big perspective right now, we haven't seen too many major operational issues that we ran into.
And are we just hearing about this type of thing more now? I mean, of course, everything in March. Now, this sounds reminiscent in a sense for everyone that was glued to watching Austin. Any perspective on that, and how often these skill sets need to be put to use for bombs?
I don't know if it's because of technology, right? Rapidly developing social media, the use of that, everything's instantaneous now. We don't know if, there may be some contact in chat rooms, things of that nature. But I will agree with you that we're seeing more of the use of devices across the country. And that's very alarming, especially for us as first responders.
And I know there were a lot of questions about, let us know if you see anything suspicious and anything else you want to put out there, or anything else that people can take from that, since there was a lot of question of what does that mean?
This just highlights another example of why it is so critically important that if you see something, say something, report it. Whether you get it off of social media, whether you get off of a text string, you don't know if, it may be someone blowing off steam, someone making a bad joke. We don't want to take that chance, right? We want to always err on the side of caution. Report it to us. Let us go out and vet that. Make sure it's not a credible threat. If it's not, then we've done our due diligence. If it is, then we have likely prevented another horrific tragedy from happening.
Now, down in Santa Fe, you not only have the explosives investigation, you also have the investigation of the shooting. What kind of wrench does that throw into the investigation? I mean, that's just a lot of things going on down there at the same time.
There is a lot of very, very complex investigation because it's a multifaceted investigation. Luckily, much like we had here in Austin, you have a number of agencies, state, local, federal partners. They're going to be working collectively, and everybody's going to have their specialty that they are going to be taking probably their lead in, which is going to make it a lot more fluid.
And how much help does having federal agencies down there with the investigation? How much help does that give you?
I can't speak for down in Santa Fe. I can tell you here in Austin, it was invaluable. There were things that we were able to do here very rapidly that we would have taken a very long time. We didn't have the resources just in the sheer number of officers in the Austin Police Department to be able to dedicate those resources. So I can tell you that it's invaluable.
Has anybody on the APD bomb squad volunteered to go down to Santa Fe? And, with everything that's happened in March and what's happening in Santa Fe right now, how does that make you feel as a police officer and as a person in general?
So right now we haven't had any of our special operations folks asked to proactively be deployed down to Santa Fe. They understand that they have a 10-county region that they're responsible for as a Central Texas Bomb Squad. So, on the best of months, they're extremely busy. And they know that dedicating resources without being formally asked, not only is that preemptive, but it also can really throw a hectic situation and make it even more hectic. When you have resources showing up that you are not ready to accept, that can really be a detriment to the investigation. I can tell you that it's a very sad day. It's a very sad day for everyone in the state of Texas and across this country. We have now seen another horrific event happen. It's the end of the school year. It's a time of the school year where these kids should be happy. They're getting ready to go on summer vacations, visit friends and family, and then they have this horrific event happen. So, as a first responder, you never want to see that happen. As a parent, it is just gut-wrenching.
Thank you.